The first thing Cadet Mara Kessler noticed about the Deathworld Academy was the silence. Not the peaceful kind. No birds, no wind in the trees, no distant hum of cities. This was the silence of predators waiting, of an environment that had killed every careless student who underestimated it. The Academy floated in orbit above the planet Zarth Prime, a world classified by the Galactic Council as a Category 9 Deathworld. Acidic storms, gravity nearly twice galactic standard, aggressive megafauna, microbial hazards that dissolved metal, Zarth Prime was used as a proving ground for the elite. If you survived training here, you could survive anywhere. Mara stepped off the transport shuttle, boots hitting the landing pad with a dull metallic thud. Her Earth-standard exosuit adjusted automatically, compensating for the crushing gravity. Around her, cadets from dozens of species gathered, towering insectoids with chitinous armor, crystalline beings refracting light, amphibious quadrupeds with armored fins. And humans. Only one. She felt the stares. Some curious. Some hostile. Most dismissive. Humans had only recently joined the Galactic Council, and their reputation was complicated. Soft bodies, no natural armor, slow reflexes compared to insectoids, limited sensory organs. A species that relied on machines and diplomacy. Not Deathworld champions. A tall Drakari cadet, scales gleaming like polished obsidian, leaned toward his group and whispered loudly, "They sent a primate? Must be a political stunt." Laughter rippled through the ranks. Mara ignored them. Earth had trained her well. 1. The welcome trials. Commander Vextor addressed the assembly. He was a veteran of 3 interstellar wars, his synthetic augmentations glowing faintly beneath his pale skin. "Welcome to the Zarth Prime Combat Academy," he said, his voice amplified by internal speakers. "Half of you will drop out within the first month. A quarter will die within the first year. Only the best will graduate." His gaze lingered on Mara. "You will begin with Survival Trial Alpha. You will be dropped into the lower biomes of Zarth Prime with minimal gear. Your goal, survive 72 hours and return." The cadets buzzed with excitement. Mara felt a quiet familiarity. Earth had been worse. They were deployed via orbital pods into a crimson jungle filled with towering fungal structures and carnivorous flora. Gravity pressed down like an invisible weight on her bones. Her pod crashed through a cluster of spore trees, landing hard in a swamp of acidic mud. She emerged, scanning her surroundings. Her suit warned, atmospheric toxins detected. She switched to internal filtration, recalling how she'd once trained in the toxic ruins of a post-industrial megacity on Earth, where the air itself was lethal. She began moving immediately. Most cadets spread out, eager to prove dominance. Mara followed the terrain. She studied the ground for patterns, tracked wind currents, identified edible organisms using her suit's AI database. Within hours, she had built a shelter using local fungal fibers reinforced with nanofilaments. She harvested water from condensed spores, neutralizing acids with a chemical kit she had memorized during Earth survival training. She slept in 2-hour shifts, always alert. On the second day, she encountered her first Zarthian predator. A 6-legged reptilian beast the size of a hovercar burst from the undergrowth, jaws lined with rotating serrated teeth. Mara didn't panic. She deployed a sonic pulse grenade, Earth tech designed for urban riot control. The beast's inner ears ruptured. It collapsed, thrashing. She didn't kill it. She harvested tissue samples, learning its weaknesses. By the 3rd day, she reached the extraction beacon. Only 12 cadets made it. She was one of them. The Drakari cadet who had mocked her limped in behind her, missing half a limb. He stared at her in disbelief. 2. Combat simulations. Next came the combat arena. Holographic environments simulated war zones across the galaxy. asteroid boarding actions, jungle insurgencies, zero-gravity dogfights. Mara struggled in the first simulation. Not physically, mentally. The alien cadets fought like soldiers bred for war, honor duels, rigid formations, predictable strategies. Mara had trained in something else. Chaos. Her Earth instructors had drilled her in asymmetric warfare, urban guerrilla tactics, cyber infiltration, and psychological operations. So she adapted. In a simulated city battle, she hacked traffic drones to block enemy movement. She turned civilian infrastructure into traps. She used misinformation to redirect enemy units into kill zones. She won the simulation without firing a single shot. The instructors took notice. The cadets grew uneasy. 3. The Deathworld course. The Academy's pride was the Deathworld course, a brutal multi-species obstacle and survival marathon across the harshest regions of Zarth Prime. Cadets were told to treat it as war. Many did. Some died. The course began in the Ash Plains, where volcanic dust storms could strip flesh from bone. Mara used thermal layering and electromagnetic shielding, tech Earth developed after centuries of industrial disasters. In the Razor Forest, where metallic plants sliced through armor, she moved slowly, memorizing movement patterns. In the Void Swamps, where gravitational anomalies swallowed vehicles, she navigated using quantum beacons, technology developed after Earth's early space catastrophes. One by one, cadets dropped out. Mara kept moving. She wasn't the strongest. She was the most prepared. For the truth revealed. After 3 months, rumors spread. Humans were classified as Deathworlders. The cadets assumed that meant Earth was dangerous. They had no idea how dangerous. Commander Vextor called Mara into his office. "Your performance is statistically impossible for your species," he said, folding his augmented hands. "Explain." She hesitated. Then she showed him. Footage of Earth's natural disasters. Hurricanes that erased cities. Earthquakes that shattered continents. Pandemics that killed millions. Wars that burned nations. Training programs where soldiers were conditioned to survive chemical weapons, nuclear fallout, psychological torture. "We don't grow up on a peaceful world," she said quietly. "We grow up learning how to endure." Vextor watched silently. For the first time, a galactic commander understood why humans had survived long enough to reach the stars. 5. The incident. It happened during a live-fire exercise. A new cadet, a young insectoid named Trix, miscalculated a reactor simulation. The training facility's fusion core destabilized. Emergency systems failed. The Academy began evacuation. Mara stayed. She had trained in nuclear reactor meltdown scenarios. She knew how to manually stabilize the core. Ignoring orders, she sprinted into the reactor chamber, radiation alarms screaming.